Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics. Welcome back to the channel. Joining me tonight is Hold the Ball. We're going to discuss the Rugby League World Cup Week 3, and we're going to review all the games and maybe give our overall thoughts for the quarterfinals as well, coming up as well, just briefly. But Hold the Ball, it's good to have you back on the channel again. Actually, it's been a bit of a while. I know you've been very flat out busy. With a lot of things, your channel as well, the content on there, you're doing a great job, and and also other stuff also. So Hold the Ball, it's great to have you back on the channel, and hope you're doing very well.
Yeah, look, I am, and it has been very hectic. I'm sure for all of us content creators, yourself especially. But look, in saying that, thank you, and I'm looking forward to being part of this awesome show. Let's get to it, man.
Yeah, no worries. So look, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you like this live stream as well, and make sure you comment in the live chat, interact, and feel free to send in your questions. But we're gonna get into it now. So we're going to go through the games. So the first game was the New Zealand Kiwis taking on Ireland. So this game was played at the Emerald Hegley Stadium there in Leeds. And the scoreline was 48 points to 10. The New Zealand Kiwis getting the win. Tries to Jerome Hughes with 3 tries. Jordan Rapana with 2. Peter Hickey with 2. Ronaldo Mulitalo with 1. James Fisher-Harris with 1. Kenneth Bromwich with 1, Joseph Manu with 1, and for the Ireland side, Lewis Senior with 2 tries as well. One off an intercept and one off a Morley Talo error. But Hold the Ball, what were your thoughts on this New Zealand Kiwis versus Ireland game? For me, I thought it was a pretty unconvincing performance against the Irish side. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you. I mean, look, granted, obviously, we won. The Kiwis won, but there was just so much left there to be desired. I think, anyway, just that. And granted, I get it. Jerome Hughes just came in, so it was the first time the Kiwis were utilizing their spine, and perhaps that is maybe where you can give them a bit of leeway. But I mean, ultimately, it wasn't. I don't know. Just left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and this for me was pretty much the Jerome Hughes show, because I think our attack especially wasn't great early on. And Jerome Hughes, I think for me, he was the main institute in us getting those tries in this game. And what is your thoughts on Jerome Hughes' performance? This is his first game of the tournament, because he's been out for so long, and he had an injury leading into this tournament. So yeah, what is your thoughts on Jerome Hughes' performance in this game?
Yeah, look, he's obviously a maestro for the Kiwis, right? He brings an added X factor experience and obviously some sort of intensity as well. And I've got to credit, I suppose, the Storm for that one there. But yeah, overall, what he brought to the game was direction, poise. He allowed us to attack and we looked better. But like I said before, I just need to stress it was the first time that he was back for the spine there. So again, it was pretty good considering like his performance. Absolutely.
Yeah, so just pop into this chat here. So Noble 3HR says Matama Tonga on top. It's a Tongan fan. Tonga had a good win as well this week. We'll get through to Tonga's game soon. But yeah, look, to me, really not much to add on to this game. Obviously, the Kiwis just, they got the win in the end, 48 to 10, but it wasn't very convincing. There was a few issues, and another issue I want to talk about as well, and I've got it in one of the banners, so I'll just get it up. Just bear with me. So I'll just get it. Where is it? Banners. So here it is here. So just New Zealand Kiwis goal kicking concerns. And also, I want to touch on this one. The Jared Weir-Hargreaves sin bin. Now, Jared Weir-Hargreaves, I believe he's been suspended for 1 game, so he'll miss the quarterfinal against Fiji this week. But Hold the Ball, what are your thoughts on the Jared Weir-Hargreaves sin bin, and also the New Zealand Kiwis goal kicking concerns? Because for me, it is a massive problem going into the finals.
Yeah, look, I think I'll address the goal kicking concerns first. Look, for the Kiwis, predominantly, we're looking at a very ugly situation here, potentially, right? Like, potentially, we really are. It's just, even the basics of kicking it from a certain meter out, not even that far, we're missing. it's definitely emergency for me personally, and it's not looking good. Imagine tight arm wrestles with, say, Fiji, or dare I even say, if we get past that, Australia, whoever. It's just not looking good. Now, as for the Jared White Hargreaves, you and I haven't really touched on this, so I don't even know where you stand on this initially. But for me personally, I thought it was a deserved 10 in the bin personally. I'm actually really surprised though he wasn't sent off. In all honesty, again, if I'm being really impartial down the middle, I really am. I really am. So my thoughts on it: he should have been sent off. Like he shouldn't have even come on. And 1 week suspension for what he did. Again, hey, I'm back in the Kiwis, right? But still, very light, very light.
Yeah, just before getting into my thoughts on it, just hello to Jack O'Hari. How's it going, Jack O'Hari? Good to see you in the live chat. A loyal viewer to both our channels. He's a really common viewer there, and he contributes a lot. So, look, my general thoughts on the Joey Hargreaves Sinbin, I can echo your same thoughts here. I agree with you on that one. I reckon that Joey Hargreaves was probably lucky to only get, 10 minutes in the sin bin. Maybe it could have been a send off. It wasn't needed. It wasn't needed by Joey Hargreaves. I said it in my live reaction that he should not have done what he should have done, and he could have cost the Kiwis. It was lucky it was not a finals match, because if that happened in a finals match against a different opposition, it could have been very costly. But Jerry Hargreaves, look, I think he needs to be less aggressive. I think he needs to tone it down a bit. I mean, he's not that type of player that likes to be very aggressive. But yeah, for me, it was a fair sin bin. It could have been a send off. Surprised he only got 1 week for that. Very surprised. I thought he was going to get a lot more personally, but yeah, I mean, it's the right call. It's the right decision, and him getting suspended. Even though I'm a Kiwis fan, I just don't think he deserved. I don't think he deserves any more than. Oh, I don't think he deserves anything less than a sin bin and 1 week. So yeah, that's just my general thoughts. And the goal kicking. Look, I mean, that was a worry. That was a worry throughout this game. It really was. I mean, 4 out of 10 conversions. So Dylan Brown had a go at goal kicking. Jordan Rapana also had a go. Yeah, I mean, look, if the goal kicking comes back to bite us in the finals, then yeah, it's not good at all. But just a quick overall thoughts on that. Hold the ball on what I've just said there.
Yeah, no, what you said is good. I agree with it. I think the Kiwis just probably need to score more tries under the post. End of story.
Yeah. So Jack O'Hari says here, how in the hell are we in a World Cup without a decent goal kicker? Yeah, that's a very good question. Now, I don't know. We don't have many options out there, and I mean, we've tried Dylan Brown, we've tried Jordan Rapana, Jerome Hughes. Just pointing out there, I know he hasn't done any goal kicking with Melbourne, but who else is out there? Who else is out there at the moment? Hold on. Well, what do you think? I mean, who else would you pick as a goal kicker? Or would you stick with what we just had previously?
No, just get Madge to kick the goals, man.
Yeah, Michael Maguire to kick the goals. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, so anything more you'd like to add on that Kiwis game before we move on?
Nah. I've said my bit. Just found a bit at this point, a bit lackluster.
Yeah, all right. Yep. So we'll move on to that. Move away from that game, and we'll move on to this game: England versus Greece. So this game was played on Saturday, 29th of October, and it was being played at Brummel Lane in Sheffield. So the scoreline was England 94 points to 4 over Greece. So tries to Maddie Lees, Dominic Young, who scored 4 tries. Ryan Hall scored 2, as well as George Burgess scored 2. George Williams even scored a try as well. Tommy Makinson, Mark Sneed, Joe Batchelor, Andy Eckers with 2 tries. Kyle Pearce-Paul, Mike McKean, and Greece scored 1 try through Sitini Tukamo. What's your thoughts? Hold the ball on this game. I mean, for me, it was complete domination by England.
Yeah, look, the reality is that it was basically Greece's best side versus England's
Yep.
C/B team. That's it, right? Obviously, some of the players they were playing out of position as well. It was just an experimental game there. Love Greece, respect them for what they've done. Definitely, in my opinion, anyway, the best nation, the best story coming to this Rugby League World Cup. But yeah, you're right. It was just pure domination from England, and that wasn't even their best team at all. That was virtually a CB team for them. So yeah, not much to say there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can just echo that. What I saw, basically off highlights that I watched of the game, England were just too good. And I mean, look, a lot of people like myself were doubting England, and I got to say, I might be wrong here on England. Actually, they might be a chance of definitely getting into the final and possibly winning it. So, I mean, I know they only beat Greece, and people might say that it's only Greece and that, but you can only beat what's in front of you at the end of the day. So, England, look, too good. I mean, staying unbeaten in this tournament, and they're into the quarterfinals, and it's going to be an interesting quarterfinal. So, yeah, not more to add on to that one, but just go through the comment here in the live chat. So, Noble Free HR says England really played different on their home turf. Yeah, exactly right. I do agree with you on that one. I think England have been outstanding, and yeah, they played particularly well at home. So, yeah. Now on to the next game now. So Sunday, 30th of October, saw the Fiji Barty taking on Scotland. This game has been played at Kingston Park in Newcastle, and the scoreline was 30 points to 14. Fiji getting the win over Scotland to cement themselves into the quarterfinals. Now tries to Taniela Sendruku, Viliami Kikau, Henry Ravalu, Makasivo, Corbin Sims, and then for Scotland, Lachlan Walmsley as well as Ben Halliwell as well. So, look, I thought Scotland, I mean, yes, they went down, but I think they can take plenty out of this game. I thought, the effort was there. They were very tough early on, very brave as well. And yeah, what are your thoughts on this hold the ball? Do you agree with what I say, or
Yeah,
do you think differently?
no, I agree. Look, they're also known as the Bravehearts, right? The Scotland Rugby League team, and I think quite fittingly that was
Yep.
probably their bravest performance of the tournament. I think a lot of us expected them to absolutely get smashed and dominated by Fiji, but it wasn't the case. They put up a bit of resistance, and obviously losing the game there by 16 points. Had things swung their way just a little bit, potentially they could have probably even, lost by a closer margin. Scrappy game for Fiji, nonetheless. But like you said, they're into the quarterfinals, so it doesn't really matter at the end there for them. They can learn a lot from that game there, Fiji as well as Scotland. Yeah, it was just a good game of rugby league, nonetheless for me. Yeah.
Yep. So just going through the chat here. So 685NS is saying PNG to take out England if the ref doesn't play a part in the game, which will likely happen. Fair enough. And yeah, look, I don't really have too much to add on to this Fiji Barty versus Scotland game. I just reckon that Fiji, they did what they needed to do, get the win. Scotland, no disgrace in this game. I thought they were pretty resilient in this one. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we can see Scotland in the next Rugby League World Cup in France in a couple of years' time. So yeah, I mean, all the best to Scotland for the future. But the next game is I don't think we really need to go through this one too much, but it sees Australia Kangaroos versus Italy at the Totally Wicked Stadium in St. Helens. Australia 66 points to 6 over Italy. Tries to Valentine Holmes, Murray Talangi, James Tedesco against his former team. He actually did represent Italy a couple of years ago. Campbell Graham as well, Latrell Mitchell, Murray Talangi, Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin, Cameron Murray, Campbell Graham, Jeremiah Nanai again, and Lindsay Collins. And Italy did actually score a try in this one to Ronnie Palumbo. So, yeah, in my notes, I said Australia just had too much experience, too much class with the Italian side. But what is your thoughts?
Oh, look, I don't think I can really add much to it. Fanatics,
Yeah.
I think I'll literally copy you. Too much classroom experience. In saying
Yeah.
that, though, well done to Italy for getting that, that consolation try there through Mr. Palumbo there. And yeah, it was actually good to see Tedesco face off against his heritage side. We sort of, obviously just quickly as well, love the players who obviously go and play for their heritage, but it's also good to see those stick with the tier one as well and play against their heritage as well. So, no, good on them. Yeah, but yeah, Australia obviously too strong. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, not much to say there.
Yeah, all right. So we'll move on to the next game, actually. And this one was another big scoreline. We've been accustomed to getting a lot of one-side scores this tournament, but it's what it is. Lebanon versus Jamaica at the Lee Sports Village. Lebanon with a scoreline of 74 points to 12 winners. So tries to Michael Tanous, Abbas Miski, Ali Al-Zakman, Reese Robinson, Kale Rajab, Shabal Tasapali, Josh Mansour, Adam Dohi, and Shabal Tasapali. Oh, I did say that already, but anyways. So Tony Maroon, Josh Mansour, he also scored a couple tries. I believe he scored 3 tries in this one. And Abbas Miski, and for Jamaica, they did score 2 tries, which is through to Mo Aguero and Jordan Adrani. But yeah, what is your thoughts on this game? Hold the ball.
Yeah, look, first and foremost, I think Lebanon having Adam Doihi there was a big thing for him. Right. In saying that, though, I knew Lebanon would win, but I didn't see him winning by this much here. But again, granted, like I said, good game from them. Their house pairing as well, the likes of Khalid Baraja as well, like you mentioned.
Yep.
As for Jamaica, look, I'm happy that they actually got 2 tries there, particularly that Mo Agoro try there where he catches the ball, a bit of a sloppy pass or whatever it was, and he runs about 70 or 60 odd meters. Beautiful to see. Love to see Jamaicans there playing rugby league, and yeah, they add so much to this game, and I'm actually happy they were there. But yeah, Lebanon, too strong when it comes to.
Yeah, and Adam Dohi also had a very strong game as well. He was outstanding, and Mitchell Moses as well led the way. So yeah, I mean Nihaz paid the pitcher for Lebanon, and the rest of the team played well as well. So yeah, good win there by Lebanon going into the quarterfinals where they will take on Australia. So the next game now, it was Matima Tonga versus Cook Islands, and this was a game where I thought this would be a little bit more closer than what the scoreline was, and it was actually a bit of a shock, actually. Now, 92-10 was the score. And, yeah, this game was being played at the Riverside Stadium in Middlesbrough. Hold the ball. And you're a Tongan fan as well as a Kiwi fan. So what was your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the boys' performance there?
Yeah, look, I reckon Mate Matonga were very clinical. Again, to try and make a long story short, they were just too dominant, physically dominant. Again, obviously, it helps when Tamalolo was in, right? The captain, he definitely boosted the boys a bit there. And Adam Fanor Blake, I thought all over the park, particularly the likes of Isaiah Katoa as well. He was sensational. Will Benesini as well, right? Scoring 4 tries. Look, what he sort of said, and there were even parts there where the Cook Island defenders themselves looked like they weren't even attempting to tackle. That quite literally just standing still with the hands out. It was almost junior footy-esque the way that they were playing. Just how good Tonga were. But look, I'll say one thing as well before I leave it to you. Sorry. I just think we don't underestimate, but when you see Tamalolo in that squad there, you can see he adds so much to Tonga's punch, right? And it was clearly evident there. It was, wow, just pure destruction. That's probably the best way to say it. It was just destruction, Unfortunately, there, because Cook Islands are our Polynesian, siblings there, but pure destruction from Mate Matonga.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the biggest end for Tonga, and it's very good timing now with the quarterfinals coming up, is Jason Tamalolo. I mean, that's a huge inclusion. When you look at what Tonga have got already and the players that they have, Tamalolo coming in just boosts the side even more. And look, he was outstanding, led the way on the field. Palacini, like you said, he was very good as well, scoring 4 tries. And look, also I thought Lola here also had a pretty good game in the halves as well. I thought it was very strong in this game. So, yeah, I'll go through the comments here. So, Noble 3HR is asking, what are your thoughts on Tonga versus Samoa? Yeah, we'll get to that afterwards. Noble 3HR, we'll get to that after we've wrapped up all the games. So, look, really, Tonga, look, it was a good win by them. 92 points to 10. What more can you ask? And all their players really stepped up. And Taumalolo had a big one as well. So, yeah, that's all I can add on that to that one. But the next game, again, this game, I thought this was going to be a close game. I thought this was going to be a close game. I thought the French could be competitive in this one. But Samoa, I'll probably say this is actually their best performance. This is their best performance of this tournament because, I mean, look, that first game, obviously against England, was embarrassing and wasn't good enough. And Samoa have hit back well lately, and I thought this was their best they played. So, hold on, but what are your thoughts on it? Samoa versus France. I'll just go through the scoreline quickly. So, it was 62-4. Obviously, tries to Tim Laffey, Brian To'o, Taylor May also scoring 4 tries. And Brian To'o also scoring a try with Anthony Milford, Tim Laffey. Shanaris Tavita even got on the scoreboard as well. And for France, it was Fuad Yaha scoring. So, yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, look, obviously both these teams came here into this match here with a must-win situation. Obviously, the winner basically slotted through into second place. Now, in saying that, I was very surprised and I suppose happy for Toa Samoa, absolutely, but disappointed that France didn't put up a bit of a fight. And they're known as bit of fighters, right? You know, they don't normally fall down and not swing. And they fell down and there was no swinging. Toa Samoa, again, too clinical, going out wide. The likes of Taylor May, as you mentioned, Brian To'o, I believe he scored a double. And the halves just seemed to be clicking. Toa Samoa losing to England in that fashion was probably the worst thing that could have happened to probably any opponent that versus them, I think, anyway, because they're going to carry that pain there. And you can see they clearly lose it. And I agree with you, Fanatics. That was their best game of the tournament so far was against France. They, you know, forget the Greece game. I think this game here was better, and they did so well and looking very dangerous again heading into that juicy quarterfinal game against Mate Matoma.
Yep. So just going through this comment here from Jacko Hari saying, always hurts, but kind of nice at the same time seeing to see Lola here play so well, given the treatment the Warriors gave him, which is a fair comment there. But yeah, look, not really more to add on to this, but like Samoa just, you know, maybe the scoreline did shock me a little bit. I thought it was a little bit going to be a bit closer than I thought, but Samoa, you know, just sent out a statement for this quarterfinals match coming up this week against Matama Tonga. So, yeah, good performance here by Samoa in the end. But, yeah, the next game, actually, this is actually the last game of pool play. And it was a game I did a review to, actually, a review video afterwards. I watched this one live. It was Papua New Guinea taking on Wales. Now, believe it or not, Wales actually still had a chance going into this one of still qualifying for the quarterfinals. Now, I didn't really know that until I listened to the commentators mention it. They said that Wales needed to win by 22 points to overtake Papua New Guinea into second and play in a likely quarterfinal against England. So, hold the ball. What's your thoughts on this game? It was a game which, for me, was played in very wet weather conditions. But what are your thoughts on it?
Look, you know, normally when the attack doesn't get going, which happened to Papua New Guinea in the second half anyway, in my own opinion, you tend to look towards the team's defense, right? Yeah. And Papua New Guinea, again, adding, I think, is the only second time in this World Cup where a team has finished with no points there, 0 for Wales. So that was a big statement. We talked about Samoa making a statement. We talked about Tonga making a statement. But I think Papua New Guinea, by having Wales have 0 points, made a massive statement defensively. And that was, that was huge. In saying that, though, again, credit to Wales, right, to their participation, to everything they've done. But unfortunately, just wasn't good enough. As for the Gummels, they did well to adjust to the rainy weather, sure. Not many points afterwards, but still to win that game, they're having 0 points scored against you. Tonga or Cookans can't even say that, right? So, again, huge credit to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, and I mean, they Look, I thought they were. In my review, I said that they did a couple of times. Like they were forcing the pass a bit, and they made some errors as well in between. Which, for me, luckily, well, it was a bit weird. Let's be completely honest. So, I don't think that was the right sort of game plan to play against in those conditions. But I think if PNG get a dry game, yes, they'll be playing like that sort of style, but whether it's wet again, I don't think they'll be playing like that. It was a good first half by PNG. I thought it was a good first half, particularly second half. Look, scored a couple of tries, but maybe a little bit off in their attack. But yeah, look, their defence is great as well. So you can't really fault too much on this PNG side altogether. And obviously, they'll definitely want to step it up a bit more if they're to have any chance of upsetting England in the quarterfinals this week. But I think overall, Papua New Guinea, they're through to the quarterfinals. They got a big matchup against England to play, and they'll be looking to that game to cause a upset in itself. But anything more you like to add on to this one?
No, not too much apart from the fact that I think Papua New Guinea have a 4-day turnaround. So
yeah, that is a bit of a worry actually. I think that's a bit of an advantage to the England side. So yeah, PNG will have to recover very quickly. They'll have to recover very well, and hopefully, get their training sessions all good and not have any injuries before that week. So before that game, but yeah, more to add is this PNG did what they needed to do. They got the win over Wales, but that's all the games here for the week 3 of the pool games. Holder, what's your overall thoughts on the pool stage of the tournament before we have a little bit brief discussion on the quarterfinals?
Yeah, look, no, good question. Thank you for that, Lennox. Look, my overall thoughts. I think it's actually important for rugby league. I'm not there with the people who keep on complaining, negatively about the high scores. The reality is, guys,
yep.
Rugby league needs to start somewhere. This is the first time the tournament has ever been 16 teams, by the way, right? Sure, it's not pretty, it's not great, it's on the scorelines, but I stress again, a lot of these nations here, if you don't even know already, barely even play in international rugby league at all, let alone against top-notch quality teams. For example, England against Greece, right? That scoreline there. My overall thoughts, it was good. Again, it's a step in the right direction. Again, I stress growing pains. I like it. The only issue I have is hopefully we don't not see these teams play again. The likes of Jamaica, Scotland, Wales. I hope that they're still continued on the rugby league calendar.
Yeah.
So overall, enjoyed it, loved it. I love international rugby league. It's the pinnacle to me. End of story. I love it. I'm love it. So it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well said there. And it was great to have those new teams in there like Jamaica, Greece. Greece have a very good background, actually, a very good story around it. And I suggest you go and check it out if you haven't seen that story already around Greece and how they came to the Rugby League World Cup. And we had Wales as well. We had all these teams in there, which a lot of people rubbish and say, "Oh, why are they in here? What's the point?" And they don't deserve to be in there. And because of the scorelines, they see the scorelines and they think they shouldn't be in there. So I don't agree with it. I don't agree. I just think there should be. I think these new teams are great for the World Cup, and I think they can learn from it. Yeah, that's just my general thoughts on it. But just quickly, we'll go through the quarterfinals just briefly. We're not going to give a full preview because me and Hold the Ball will do our own on our channels. But the first game is Australia versus Lebanon, and it's on Saturday, the 5th of November. Hold the Ball. How do you think this game's going to go?
Yeah, look, I'm not even too sure, but I think it's the first time these two nations have actually met, considering these obviously Lebanese in Australia and obviously the culture and everything that they bring, which is very awesome. But it's the first time they meet. I think for mine, it's definitely going to, without trying to give my answer, it's definitely going to be Australia's overall game, right from their backs to their halves to their forwards, versus predominantly which will probably be Lebanon's spine, right? So it's going to be Lebanon Spine versus the Australian team.
Yep.
And I think I'll just leave it at that. But it's going to be a good game, and it's the first time these two nations meet, I believe. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for me, look, without saying any predictions or anything like that, I mean, look, I mean, Australia, we know what they're gonna, we know what they're gonna produce. We do, and look, the squad is outstanding. It's just got the talent. Lebanon, look, for me, the key for them is obviously how they start the game. I think that's how they start this game will dictate whether they can be competitive and run it close against Australia. So, look, if Australia get off to a 30 points to nil lead, 20 points to nil lead, it's goodbye. It's game over. It's just simple as that. Lebanon just won't be able to compete with that Australian side if they let them score that many points early on. So Mitchell Moses obviously is the key for the Lebanon side. Adam Dewey as well. I mean, those are important players because those are the players that have the inner experience as well, and Josh Mansour as well. All those players. So yeah, look, I think it's going to be a tough ask for Lebanon. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they'll be running it close. Unfortunately, that's the way I see it. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, that's how I see it personally.
Yeah, look, the reality is, it is what it is. In saying that, though, for all of these games, I stress never say never. You just never ever know until the final siren, right? Until the whistle blows. So it is what it is.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah. So the next game, just England versus Papua New Guinea. Now, I think this is a possibility there could be an upset in this one. I mean, a lot of people might not agree with me on this one and might think there's not a chance at all. But what are your thoughts, Hold the Ball? Do you think there's any chance that Papua New Guinea could cause a surprising upset and make the semi-finals and knock England out?
Look, there's a reason why you normally play rugby league games, say for example, usually 6 to 7 days apart. Average.
Yep.
Because it takes a lot out of your body, right? It takes a toll. It's hard hitting, all that stuff there. Look, in saying that though, do I give them a chance for an upset? Look, in all honesty, I think it's going to be heart versus mind, right? Like simple as that, right? And I think that's a lot of what a lot of us are going to be doing here. Realistically, can they? They absolutely can. Will they? I don't know. It's going to be England's forward pack, right? The English machine versus Papua New Guinea. But I think Papua New Guinea, in my opinion, anyway, have very good, expansive attacking games. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think obviously the key for Papua New Guinea for me is probably the important players like Alex Johnston, Edwin and Pape as well, the hooker, who's had a very good Rugby League World Cup tournament actually, and he's a player that not many people would have known about going into this tournament. Now he's been recognised as quite a lot, and he's I believe he plays for Lee in the Super League, so they're coming up into the Super League next year, Lee. So yeah, I mean Edwin and Pape for me probably key for Papua New Guinea. Alex Johnston as well, plus the forwards as well. I think that's the key for me. But yeah, I mean England really they should go into that game as hot favourites to win. Papua New Guinea, I'm not going to rule them out completely. I think they can do it. But England, well, I think they deserve the favourites tags going into that one. But yeah, the next game sees the New Zealand Kiwis taking on Fiji on Sunday morning there. Hold the Ball, what are you expecting? What are you expecting from the Kiwis over this Fiji side? Do you think it's going to be revenge from 2017 we went down to them? Or do you think Fiji can cause another surprising upset?
Yeah, look, I think what you said then was really good and very key. It definitely is this 2017 rematch. Obviously, Fiji Pati getting the best of New Zealand on that occasion. Looking into this game here, again, without trying to reveal too much, I think it's a new look Kiwi squad. Granted, a bit, disappointing in my opinion, but nonetheless a better squad than what it was in the last World Cup, that's for sure. As for Fiji, they've got backs for days, right? They're going to be trying to or they can try to look to use their backs. I think they may have the advantage over the Kiwis, in my opinion, personally. Some may disagree, but I think in the back line, especially their wings, they've got some very good striker weapons there. However, in saying that, yeah, look, I'm not too sure of who to tip, but in saying that, it's worth to see.
Yep. So yeah, look, I reckon obviously for Kiwis, is the key for me is the halves pairing of Dylan Brown and Jerome Hughes. I thought Jerome Hughes had a very good game against Ireland, but that combination will be looking to step it up in the quarterfinals and hopefully got us to a semi-final. But yeah, I'm not going to give my prediction away yet there, but. The last game, it is Tonga, Matama Tonga versus Toa Samoa. And boy, this game is going to be one hell of a game. I can't wait for this one. Probably going to be one of the games of the tournament, potentially. Hold the ball as a Matama Tonga fan. What do you think? Are you confident the boys can get the job done over Samoa, or do you think it's going to be a very tough one?
Look, I'm very confident there's going to be some sore bodies, that's for sure. That's the only confidence I have in this game. I think for a lot of us here, regardless of who you support, definitely looking forward to this game, right? I think a lot of us are. This might be the fixture of the tournament, dare I even say it, I think, in my opinion. Look, I think it's going to be as simple as this. Toa Samoa's backline versus Matema Tonga's forward pack, right? In the halves, in all honesty, I think generally speaking, they're almost dead even, in all honesty. I think they are, generally. So in saying that, as to who this goes to, I don't know. I'm not confident to say here or there, really. All I know is that it's going to be bruising, it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be the rugby league game of the year. In any rugby league competition, whether that be Origin, NRL, whatever, Super League, this game here will be the game of the year.
Yep. So Noble Free HR is saying Tonga needs to punch the middle hard. What are your thoughts on that comment?
Oh, look, it's just, yeah, of course, absolutely. That's been Matema Tonga's game plan since the get-go, right? Against Papua New Guinea to, finishing up against Cook Islands there. That's as simple as that. Like I said, Tonga have the forward pack advantage, in my opinion. It's about utilizing their strengths there and, again, praying that they make their tackles out wide. Simple as that. Yeah,
and for me, I believe that game against the Cook Islands, that was probably Matema Tonga's best game. Like I said with Samoa in their game, I think this was their best game of the tournament so far, because I think that first game against Papua New Guinea, that was a game they literally got out of jail in that one. I mean, probably in all the other games, I don't think they've been that convincing, Tonga, but I think that game, particularly against the Cook Islands, they seem to have a bit of a statement going to this quarterfinals match. So. Look, Matema Tonga, this team's a forward pack. Their forward pack's probably one of the best in this tournament. And I think the halves is going to be interesting to see how those halves go with Lola here. And I believe it's
either or. It's Kato or Amone, really.
Kato or Mone. Yeah,
goes between the two. So
yeah, that'll be interesting to see where they go with that, who they select. I mean, they've swapped around quite a bit, actually, the combinations in this tournament so far. So I don't know what you believe is the strongest lineup, and do you believe it's Katoa and Lola here, or do you believe it's Amoni Lola here? I don't know. What's your thoughts?
That's a good question. I think for mine, so long as you have either or, right? I strongly believe they used it well with Amoni on the bench there. So yeah, for me, so long as they have those three and they're rotating,
Yeah. So, just reading through the comment here. So, Noble Free HR is saying, really excited to see what Toa Samoa coach have planned for Christian Wolf here. It'll be interesting to see what game plan Samoa come up with in this one, because I think the Samoan side can definitely match it. I mean, I think for me, their forward pack can definitely match it with Tonga. I think the halves is an even sort of contest there. I mean, you got your Jerome Blue Eyes there, and you got your who will it be? I think it'll be who would be a halfback there.
Milford,
I think it'll be
Milford, most likely.
Milford. So Anthony Milford. So I think that's an even contest as well there, and the forwards are, Samoan fullback can definitely take it to this Tongan side as well. So there are even battles everywhere on the field for both sides.
Yeah. Look, I'm not necessarily disagreeing, but I reckon Samoa have the better backs.
Yes, yeah,
And I
definitely.
reckon Tonga have the better forwards. That's the way I'm
Yep.
looking at it. But yeah, that's right. They're almost evenly matched basically. But yeah, if both sides utilize their strengths, this game is gonna be insane.
Yeah, and Jacko's saying Samoa's problems is in the coaching staff. Yeah, well, I'm not going to really comment too much on it, but yeah, look, I personally not a big fan of the Samoan head coach, in my opinion. But look, if Samoa do very well in this tournament, then and I mean, a lot of people probably won't be saying too much about Matt Parrish if they somehow make the final or win it. But
That's right.
yeah, so yeah, but I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up now. We believe we've gone for 40 minutes in total on the stream. So Hold the Bull's been kind enough to give his time up, and he's been busy. So thanks to Hold the Ball for coming on tonight for this show and discussing the Rugby League World Cup Week 3 and reviewing all the games and giving a little bit of a thoughts ahead of this week's quarterfinals as well. But also, I'd like to thank everyone also for tuning in as well as live in the live chat, commenting your thoughts. But Hold the Ball, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it, and yeah, have a good rest of the week, and thanks for coming on.
No, yeah. Look, thank you, Fanatics. You're too kind. Yeah, good show. Loved it. Enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to this weekend and what sort of havoc it brings. And yeah, cannot wait. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Like I said there, if you are, go and check out Hold the Ball if you haven't already. If you haven't seen his, work, he does some great work there. International Rugby League. He's one of the passionate guys of this rugby league, internationally, and yeah, he does some great work with the videos he does and the live streams and commentary he does as well. So go and check him out. Hold the Ball. Go subscribe to his channel as well. Also, guys, we also hit the 1,900 subscriber mark today, so we're also on the road to 2K subscribers. So, yeah, hopefully we can get there soon. But appreciate all the support, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like the live stream as well. If you are watching it back, comment if you're watching it back as well. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, everyone. Have a good rest of the week.